We start to open to this greater framework. Atoko shoshiniki shatokoya, toko shoshi shatakaya joshoki. Let's begin to build into the human energy model. Lo shoshi, this capacity, toko shoi shatokoya, atoko roko shoshi shataka. And the human capacitance, toko shoshi shataki. To continue to build your power, to build your light, taka shoshi shatokoya, beyond the scope of the human experience, hanoko shoshi, that has been dictated into this realm, honoko shoi, as we come into the heart space, to begin to dismantle this system, through the Akashic records and through the rendering of the human spirit, where we have built our experience, and therefore these narratives and stories upon the trauma field, and upon the lies and distortion, that has been relegated into this realm of the kashoshi shato ochono koshoshi, tokoshoshi shatakai chashaki. As we start to move into the divine feminine ranges, and connecting into the heart index. So these resonant frequencies through the heart, where these impulses of light, become attenuated into the being, and rather than these impulses informing the body, informing the light field, and allowing it to attune to a stronger heart range, and therefore stronger embodiment through the light, these impulses are being deadened due to the distortion and the trauma that has been laid out here. If we look at our experience as a human in this realm, as we are born into these stories, this atmosphere of distortion, we take this on as being the truth of who we are, the truth of our experience, the truth of those around us. And yet none of this is the actual light form. None of this is the story of the light being. And so where it has become natural and normal for us to attune to trauma, to stress, to anxiety, to despair, to descend our light capacitance, as we begin to allow the light to break open these structures, allow it to begin to dismantle these stress responses. And in doing so, we need to become aware of our trigger points through our daily physical life. And yet let us breathe light into a new belief system. As we move back into the reality of our childlike wonder, those ideas, the impulses, and the joy that we held as a child. This is the truth of the light. So to allow this to begin to build forward as our dominant expression and our dominant way of being, wherever the mind wants to begin to kick out this sense of safety and security, this sense of joy, this sense of pleasure and excitement, the natural state of the energy field. So allowing this to begin to anchor this seed into your divine feminine sacral range, where before this range was occupied, preset energies here. So to simply allow for the possibility of a different life, a different experience, a different future. Beyond the stress and strain we have become accustomed to living, to accepting, and to building within. It's open through the body into the cellular ranges. Breathing in the stillness and the truth of your heart. Breathing in the stillness and the truth of your natural heart range. Allowing this to flow into your being. Start to open through the mind. Let's begin to clear wherever this starts to raise objections. This upper divine feminine range of the heart, because it has been so tortured, manipulated and abused, Jano koya daki, shano koya daki, dahano koya chashaki. Shoto oshoshi shata. Ataki chashokaya. Let's come into these neonatal nokoshoshi shata ichoshoki. These umbilicus fields. Atokoshoshi shata. And let's begin to dismantle through the Akash, Dakashoshi, through the timelines, Dohono Koshoshi Shataya, where these stories were set into place, Dahanakashoshi, Shatokoya, opening, Dokoshoshi, through these imprints within your field ranges, Takai Choshokoya Naki Chatokoya, Takai Choshaya, through this left hip, Atokoro Oshoshi. So vulnerable, so impressionable, Dokoshoshi, this gift of the light. Dashoshi, Dashoshi. And where within your sense of trust, Dokoshoshi Shatakai Shoshoki, these energies took advantage, Dokoshoshi, of your true natures of being, Dokoshoshi. Dokoshoshi Shataki Chotokoya Choshaki. Daya Dokoshoshi, forgiving yourself. Dokoshoshi Shatai Choshaki. And knowing Dokoshoshi Shata, now within this return, Dokoshoshi, these qualities that make you who you are, so desired, so potent, so important here. Can you recognize the power of your empathy? The power of your ability to love deeply and fully. These are not defects of character. These are not places where we need to create boundaries and prison walls. These are places where we must recognize that these abilities hold great power and great potential. And rather than hiding, sequestering, burying ourselves, we recognize the truth of this power and claim this space here. For wherever we disown or do not see the truth of our light, other energies will step in to claim, to use, to take advantage of. Yet rather than being in fear, rather than blocking or locking ourselves out of this human experience, we recognize the power and potentiality of who we are. And in doing so, we acknowledge and witness our own light, our own being, bearing witness to our truth and our power. And it is within this recognition that we begin to rebuild our experience, our intentions, within this space, through our integrity, through our wisdom, through our experience. Completely shifting and reframing our perspective of our human experience. Beginning to open through the crown. Continuing to breathe into the stillness, into the softness, into this peace. Dai noya takai chisha toyara kaya kato koyana hachashi. Kai I Dai I Cho Tokoya Toya no Shoshisha no Koya. Do not despair. Do not take on another's lessons. Understand your position, your experience. Chanokoshoshi shatakai. Tokosho ichatakai. Shashai kotai chaika. Chaika tokoya. Jono koyataki shatoko. We light here. We begin to expand through the wings of your heart. Atokoshoshi, this truth. This emanation of spirit. Takai Choshomi. Your spirit, your truth, your expression. Daka chashi shataka choshi. Jonokoya tai shoshi shatokoya. We hold this foundation, we hold this field. Atoko shoshi shataka. Daki shanoya taka shoshi. Allowing the release of these obstacles. Shatakoya shoshi shataki. Shatoya nakaya choshai. Chayo shai chai shoki yatakosha. Kai nokoi. Kai nokoi ataki. Chosha. Choshoki chatokoya. Chiano koya and bridging. Tao shoyata ki. Tai inoya kai chakatoko. Jai inoya kata kai choshaki shatokoi. And clearing through the body. Toshisha. As the body begins to flush. Tokosho ishata I. Daik shoshoyata kashoshi. Shatokoi. Shatokoi. And continuing to breathe in the light. Continuing to take in the truth of your being, beyond the prescribed stories, beyond the false histories, and fragmented realities. Beautiful heart activation. Hearing the call of the divine masculine. Janoyataki. And attuning Takashai Shatokoya. Tokoshoshi to this return. Takash. Shanokoya Shanaki Shatokoshoshi. Shoshoshi Shataki. Dahanaki danokoshoshi shataka. As it is so.